Hey guys, and welcome back. On today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys a try-on slash product review on TooFaced Born This Way 24-hour foundation. And I have to be honest with you guys, I'll say this over and over again. I am probably not the best person to be reviewing this foundation because I usually don't use a matte finish foundation. Actually, I stay away from this kind of finish. I have patchiness, all of the above, and I just feel like a matte finish emphasizes those problematic areas for me. But I really want to give this a go because I really do love the original TooFaced Born This Way foundation. I'm hoping that it may be similar. I know it's not going to be at all, but I'm curious to see how this foundation works. So if you guys want to see me try it on and then hear my overall thoughts on this foundation, then just keep on watching. I have both the products here. I'm really excited to try them out. Before we get into that, I do want to start off by priming the skin, of course, and I'm going in with my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Primer as usual. Nothing new here. I really love this primer. I love how it smells. It has a very subtle, soft cucumber fresh scent, and it just makes my skin feel so buttery and so soft. And what I love most about it, which is why I will always continue to use it, is that even as the day goes on and my natural oils come out, my skin doesn't feel slick or greasy. Diving into the skin, I'm really excited for this. I hope I got the right shade. I got the shade Sand. I actually wear the shade Warm Beige, Neutral Beige. I don't know what I got. What do I have? So I wear the shade Golden Beige in the TooFaced Born This Way foundation. I like this color. I like the undertone. It's a medium, light to medium shade range with yellow and neutral undertones, I believe. So I wanted to try something specifically with just a yellow undertone, so hopefully this is my perfect match. I am expecting to get a little bit more color. I have to tell you guys, I really am not a matte finish foundation type of person. Any patchiness or flakes that I have on my skin, which I do have, especially around my nose area, I feel like matte foundation really emphasizes those areas. So I usually stick with either a natural finish, a demi matte satin finish, or just a very hydrated finish altogether. I like the formula for the TooFaced original foundation, so that's the only reason why I'm giving this a try. So hopefully this works. Alright, so I am going to go in with my beauty blender and just grab a little bit of the product and start blending that onto the skin.
What are you saying? Not the time or the place, baby, it's not right. It's not right, no. Going insane. Got a problem to fix, can we face it tonight? Face it tonight, oh. No way though, maybe I can't let go. Maybe I thought you'd take my side, my side. No way though, you never.
Alright, so I have one side covered, obviously, and bare skin on the other side. I have to tell you, Sand is absolutely dark on me. You can absolutely see the difference on my neck and on my face. For sure, if it was wintertime, I would be a little bit more freaked out and would absolutely change it, but I know for a fact that I'm going to get a lot more sun and I will end up being this color, so I'm not too concerned. I'm going to level it out with my concealer. My overall thoughts of the foundation: it feels like a matte foundation. It doesn't feel dry, it just feels very well set on the skin. I don't know if you guys get what I mean, but it definitely felt like it dried instantly. I don't feel like I have foundation on my skin, which is nice. Reading the box, it's no surprise because there is coconut water in here, so there is some type of moisturizing benefit. I was hoping it wasn't going to do what it's doing right now, where especially around the textured areas, as I was mentioning earlier, like around my chin area, around my nose, I can definitely see those textured bumps flakiness, all of that. I feel like it's very noticeable to me now, but it's a really beautiful foundation. I feel like with that 2 pumps on one side, got a pretty decent coverage, a little bit more coverage than what I'm used to. I prefer a more light to medium coverage, but right now having one side of the foundation on, I have to say I'm not liking it. Maybe if I use like a smoothing primer in those areas, it might work well, but I don't know. I feel like the foundation should do the work itself. Yeah, I just feel like it's a matte foundation and it kind of is doing what matte foundations do. It's matte. Let's finish off the other side. And with the same amount, 2 pumps. I like the Beauty Blender though. I like using this. I feel like it's allowing me to really move the product easily, especially because I feel like it sets pretty quickly. So as you guys can see, it's going on pretty dewy, but once it sets, it dries down pretty matted.
What are you saying? Not the time or the place, baby, it's not right. It's not right.
So part 2, because I totally forgot to put on my lash. This lash in the inner corner is just giving me a hard time. Keeps lifting. Funny, I took off this lash to reapply lash glue and I let it sit to get tacky, and I started doing the outro and I totally forgot I didn't have my other lash in. So I went through halfway of the outro without a lash. But anyways, that's real life. That's what happens. If you guys have ever tried the dual lash glue that's latex free, this lash glue is not the business, and it sucks because I actually try to stay away from any lash glue with latex in it because it makes my eyes burn. So not really the worst thing. I just have to keep reapplying lash glue onto my lashes. But anyways, I did finish the rest of my skin off camera. I just threw on a black liner and then tossed on a pretty soft pink nude lip. I have been obsessed with this liner by Milani. This is their long wearing Easy Glide formula. This is in the shade 03 Nude. It's like the perfect mauve shade. It gives you that my lip color but better, and it just makes your lips look super juicy, super full. So let's get into the details of how I feel about this foundation. I don't feel like I'm the best person to be reviewing this foundation because it is a matte finish foundation, and I usually stay away from these types of foundation, but I did want to give it a try because I love the original Born This Way formula, and especially because it had coconut in it, it had hyaluronic acid. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit different. First impressions, when it went on, it was very wet looking on the skin, but once it set and it dried matte, and I almost felt that on my skin. It didn't feel like crunchy or tight where I couldn't move my face and I felt like I had product on the skin. It just didn't feel like a hydrating type of foundation, if that makes any sense. And then as far as the overall application, you guys saw how easy it blended onto the skin. I used my Beauty Blender, and I feel like that's probably the tool that I will use for sure if I did like this foundation. I only used 2 pumps and it went a long way. And then as far as the overall finish of the foundation, I find it really interesting because as I'm looking in the monitor and my mirror, which is a little bit far, I'm seeing a little bit of radiance. And mind you, I didn't use any highlighter. The only products that had a little bit of shimmer was the blush, which is understandable because you see a lot of that glow, especially around the cheek area. But I'm talking about like the forehead area, and then on the chin, and then on the nose as well. I'm seeing a little bit of shine and radiance peeking through, which is pretty interesting because when I go in with my mirror up close, I definitely see a very matte finish. As far as how it looks on the skin, I have some flakiness on my nose, and I definitely can see that the foundation is gripped on there, and you can see it. It's blended well, but it just accentuates that area and I really don't like that, and just like the overall texture on the skin. And that's why I really stay away from matte finish foundations, because there's really no getting around to not having those areas lifted. As far as how it feels on the skin, I definitely would say that the product feels weightless. I feel like it's formulated really well where it almost like flexes with your skin and it really doesn't feel caked up or heavy. And it's also nice to know that there's coconut in here and then also hyaluronic acid, so you do get that moisture benefit. And the last thing I wanted to highlight is when I was applying my concealer, I noticed that the concealer didn't blend well over top of the foundation. I don't know if it's because my sponge was a little bit dry or just the concealer doesn't work well with this foundation. I just felt like that concealer had a hard time blending. It almost felt stuck, so I had to go in with my setting spray to kind of help move the product around. But as far as how it works for me, I definitely would say this foundation is a major pass. And again, I just don't like matte finish foundations. So if you like a matte finished medium to full coverage foundation, I say give this a go. I think you'll be really impressed. I think a little bit of this product goes a long way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys if you guys were considering getting this foundation. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.